Pickle, let's go to the hotline. There's a scant few number of UIL teams that are 7-0 right now. In fact, there's only 31 of them across the state of Texas, but one of them resides down there in Fort Bend County. Let's go to the hotline and talk to the head coach of the 7-0 Needville Blue Jays. We're joined by Coach Mike Giles. Coach, how are you?
Doing well. Doing really well, actually, today. Beautiful day. It's 82 degrees in Needville, so we've all got our parkas out getting ready to go to practice.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys have to bundle up down there at 82. You guys moved to 7-0 and, more importantly, 3-0 in district play with this last week's win over Navasota, 56-42. That matches at 7-0. That matches the combined win total of the last two seasons down there in Needville. What has been the biggest difference for you guys this year as opposed to the past couple of years?
I think the last couple of years because we were very, very young last year. Very small senior class. That combined with just weren't as talented. Of course, a few years prior to that, we had some pretty talented teams. We just had a drop. Our numbers were down a little bit. Senior class, like I said, was small. Played a ton of young kids, and it hurt us obviously during that time. But with the experience that those guys have gained and the great offseason that they've had and the buy-in, starting to pay dividends this year. So.
One of the biggest things that has been the source of the turnaround has been on the offensive side. Last year you guys averaged about 21 points a game. You guys have exploded for 46 points a game, including last week's 56-point outburst. I want to talk about some of the individual guys in a moment, but kind of holistically, coming into the season, did you have a feeling that this could be a big year for your offense?
Well, I told our kids in the offseason that's the worst offense that we've had as far as point production, and I wasn't interested in us repeating that. And I know we had some talented kids. Our offensive line is greatly improved from last year, and obviously, with some of our skill guys and the talent that they have, really makes a difference. But I'll tell you, the biggest difference for us has been up front. Our offensive line has really improved, and that's been a big difference maker.
We're talking with Mike Giles, the head coach of the Needville Blue Jays here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Coach, it's hard not to notice your running back, your junior running back, Deshawn Burton, who is already over 1,400 yards in the year, 22 touchdowns, averaging nearly 7.5 yards a carry. What is it about this young man that really has him rolling right now? Because he's a lot of fun to watch.
He really is. I tell you, he's really grown up a lot over the last 2 years. He started for us as a freshman. Last year as a sophomore, kind of was a little bit down. He didn't have a great spring. Had an injury. Summer wasn't great, but I tell you, he had a great offseason, had a great summer. He's come into the season much stronger and faster, than he has been in the past. And just his overall approach, his mental capacity to just, is humble and just working hard. And he's complimented with a quarterback that helps him out there as well. And again, I'm going to go back to the offensive line because those guys, I can't say enough about those guys and the improvements that they've made. But Deshawn is a special kid. He's different from, a few years ago when we had Ashton. He's a different type of runner. Got great vision, got great patience for finding holes and then being able to hit the hole and stay vertical. And I don't know many times that he's been tackled where he's fallen backwards.
The quarterback you mentioned is Keelan Sweeney, a guy who is dual threat guy. He's got 11 rushing touchdowns, nearly 1,000 yards himself on the ground, but also a guy who you guys are not asking him to throw a ton, but it seems like he's really effective when you do ask him to throw. This is a guy who's obviously in command of this offense and looking good. As the guy who gets to see him in practice and in the locker room, what is it about your quarterback that sets him apart?
He's a very mature, composed, competitive kid. Saw that when he was young, just watching him compete in basketball, to be honest with you, just how he handled himself He doesn't get rattled. He's a smart kid. He's a competitive kid. He's a selfless kid. Gives the credit to others. And I'll be honest with you, he can throw the football. And you're right, we haven't thrown it as much as maybe we have in the past. We can if we need to. And really, if you look at his completions, I think he, for every fourth completion is a touchdown. So we have to. He's doing a really, really nice job of running our offense and dispersing the ball to the guys that he needs to get it to, for sure.
Mike Giles and Needville, our guest here on Texas Football Today. The other side of the ball, Coach, on the defensive side, you guys have made some nice strides as well. Got into a bit of a firefight with Navasota this past week, but the defense overall has taken a nice step forward. What on the defensive side has you most excited?
Just our physicality. We've got guys flying around. We've probably got more depth at the linebacker, outside linebacker, secondary positions than we've had since I've been here. We're not as big up front at the defensive line position as we've been in the past, but we have guys that just play with fanatical effort and are extremely physical. I mean, we got some guys that, I had to send off 3 helmets last week to get fixed from Rydell. Our middle linebacker shattered, and I'm talking about the brand new Axiom. He shattered it, broke it in half. So we got some guys that are physical, and they take pride in being better defensively. And we did get into a kind of a score match last week against Navasota, but I'm gonna tell you, that's an extremely talented football team. That quarterback and can run and throw and makes things really, really difficult on you defensively. But overall, our just great effort, and you can't coach that. We've got tough kids, and they're going to give us everything they've got. They're coachable, and they're going to fly around.
Well, the good news is, Coach, it's not like things get any tougher. You guys are this week on the road at El Campo, and then you get Bay City before you close things out with Iowa Colony. So UIL did you a real favor here with this district. I want to focus on this week against El Campo. You guys are going to Riceburg Stadium.
It's
take them on.
Probably I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you're taking on El Campo this week, going to Riceburg Stadium. I know you've already worked hard on figuring out a game plan. What's going to need to happen for you guys on Friday night to come away with what would be another really big win?
I think that we've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage like we've been able to do in our games, since we've started district, and that's going to be tough. El Campo is an extremely talented football team, obviously, with Oliver Miles and the guys they've got over there. Defensively, their defensive front is good and physical. And with Coach Reeves there, they're very well coached. They're disciplined. You're not going to trick them. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to physically get after them and know that you're in for a 4-quarter game. Hopefully we can stay in it for 4 quarters.
I think you guys got a good shot. I'll say that. He's Mike Giles. He's the head coach of the unbeaten Needville Blue Jays. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the great start, and best of luck Friday night in El Campo.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me, and appreciate everything you guys are doing for high school football in Texas.
Absolutely. There he goes, Mike Giles, head coach, Needville Blue Jays. Again, a bit of surprise. Remember, they were 4-6 last year, 3-7 the year before. Kind of bobbing along, but they have caught lightning in a bottle, and that duo of Keelan, I just had his name, Keelan Sweeney, and then that running back, Deshawn Burton. Those two together combined, just those two guys, are averaging 332 yards a game on the ground.
My goodness.
332 yards a game. They got a combined 33 touchdowns on the ground. And by the way, Sweeney's thrown for 9 touchdowns.
I was going to say, that combined with a defense that's knocking skulls is it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. This is a really interesting ball club. And now, Coach was kind of joking about it. It's backloaded. Mm-hmm. El Campo, Bay City, Iowa Colony. Okay?
And that's what's funny, too, is there's 2 surprise teams in that district.
Absolutely.
Iowa Colony was not supposed to do this either in their
right.
3rd year.
I think you're right. But I think Needville has firmly inserted themselves into the conversation there at in that district. And I'm really intrigued by this week's game at El Campo. I think they got a really great shot. So I think it's a lot of fun. Fun times down there in Blue Jay country. We appreciate Mike Giles hopping on with us.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.